Are you looking for more out of your life? Do you need ideas on how to start new businesses and how to move forward in your own personal life? Well, guess what? You have come to the right radio show. At You Can Overcome Anything podcast show, you will learn and hear from many people from all walks of life who are sharing their challenges, their stories, the habits, and the mind shifts they had to overcome to become who they are today. On top, you will get a chance to connect and see how you can overcome anything by networking and learning about your next move through this radio show. I present to you our great speakers at You Can Overcome Anything podcast show with your host, Cesar Espino. Hello there and welcome back to another episode of You Can Overcome Anything podcast show. It is your host, Cesar Espino, and you can find me at www.cesarrespino.com. Today I have a special guest. His name is Teo.luz. Hey Teo, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. I'm sitting outside right now. There's a lot of shade, lots of birds chirping, so it's a great day.
I love it. I love the sound. I always love to watch your videos and just like the background is so beautiful and just the birds. Like, man, I got to be there.
Yeah, I love being outside.
That's awesome. So let me give a little bit of your background to our viewers and listeners before we get started. So Teo has been an entrepreneur since the age of 15. He has always had a passion for helping others transform their lives and always been able to find a way to create financial abundance for himself by doing so. Teo is in a mission to help people follow their dreams by creating a life they love. And this is pretty much your story. And so I want to tap into more of that. Before we get there, though, I want to know more about your background, your upgrowing. Where are you originally from and how is your upgrowing as a kid?
So I am from Fayetteville, Arkansas, which is Northwest Arkansas. And that's actually where I'm at right now. I spent the last 8 years living near Austin, Texas, and I recently moved back due to the COVID-19 stuff, just to be closer to family and whatnot. And so Fayetteville, Arkansas is a really unique place because it is just this area in general, very business oriented. This is the headquarters of 3 of the world's largest companies. This is where Tyson Foods is headquarters, the largest meat producer and supplier in the entire world. This is where Walmart is headquarters. That is where they started. And I think Walmart alone is like the world's 4th largest economy as a company. And J.B. Hunt, America's largest logistics and trucking company, this is where the headquarters is. And the University of Arkansas Masters of Business Association has one of the best business programs in the country. So just being in this area, it was easy to be, oriented towards entrepreneurial endeavors, towards business. And both my parents have their MBAs, and both parents have started their own businesses, have worked in the business world. So just growing up, I was always surrounded by the concepts of business, by, seeing my parents work their normal jobs, but also come home and work behind the scenes to like start their own projects and to live their dreams, and always, dealing with that kind of environment. So to me, it was, in my mind, where I'm at now, this is kind of just the natural progression that I saw my life taking. Like, it isn't a surprise that I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah, right. No, I get you. No, that's actually really good. A lot of times, obviously, parents don't have that, that entrepreneurial mindset. So when you get started from that perspective as on your own, could be definitely a bit more challenging, and you have to learn more. So you kind of grew up with that, right? Which is pretty awesome. And what about, just like some maybe things that you had to overcome growing up? Were there any kind of obstacles that you face in your journey?
Oh, plenty. One of the big ones was early on when I first was in high school. I wanted to go to college to get a business degree, an international business, something like that. And I think the biggest hurdle I had to overcome in my own mindset was thinking that I needed a business degree to do business. And I think, a lot of people feel like they need some sort of certification or some sort of degree or something, a piece of paper that says you can do business. And once I got over that, I went to college for something completely different, not business related. And I think once people can get over that and just realize that the way business was done in the past and the way we're doing it today has totally shifted. And even a lot of the concepts they're learning in college are not applicable to what most entrepreneurs are actually doing. It's more applicable to like macroeconomics and running large scale companies. It's like, if you want to be a CEO or go into marketing for a massive corporation, yeah, that's great. Go to business school. But if you're trying to be an independent entrepreneur, business school might not be the best route. So getting that concept out of my head that I had to have an MBA to be able to be an entrepreneur was a big obstacle to overcome. But here we are.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And you touched on that, the mindset, and I think that in many different aspects that's so critical. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're just working for somebody else, whether it's just really your own personal life. Let's talk about that for a second. In terms of the mindset and some of the dynamics of why it's so critical to really, like you said, get that concept out of your mind and understand that it's actually something different. So let's talk about the concept of how critical it is to, work on your mind, program your mind, and how that all works together.
Yes, no, this is super critical. And so I think I have a leg up over most people in the entrepreneurial world, having a yoga background and doing a lot of meditation, a lot of mindfulness practices, a lot of practices to enhance my focus and to alter my mindset consciously. And so the number one thing I deal with when I'm helping others to be successful, when I'm coaching yoga teachers, yoga trainers, when I'm coaching people on how to grow their business and things like that, the number one thing is mindset. And it's just this common phrase, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. Like, I can give you all the tools, all the resources, the step-by-step process to do something, to create a business, to make money, to get clients, but I cannot put you in the mindset to believe I am good enough to be selling this product or service. My time is worth X amount, and this is what people should be paying me. I'm confident that I can get results for people because I've seen it work on myself and work on others. And so that's honestly the biggest obstacle that I would say everyone faces. And even today, to this day, those are things I still have to work on myself whenever I'm trying to get to that next level or go to do something new with my skills, is overcoming those ideas of, well, who should listen to me? What makes me the expert? Who am I to charge this much money for my time? And can I really help people the way I say I can? And if people can get over those obstacles in their mindset, then all of a sudden the path becomes infinitely more clear, a lot easier to walk, and things just get better. So I would definitely recommend to people, especially entrepreneurs and business people, if you're not doing meditation, that's like mistake number one. And if you're not working on affirmations, mistake number two. Like, I have a whole 7-page list of business affirmations. It takes 15 minutes to go through the whole list of positive affirmations to help your business mindset. And this is something I give away to people for free, but I always recommend to people to take from this whole 7-page list, take 5 affirmations that make you feel good reading them. Take 5 that when you read them, you need it. Maybe it's stuff you're not good at and you need to practice. And then take 5 that make you feel really uncomfortable. When you read that statement, you're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can be that person. And those are the ones you really need to focus on. And then I tell people to take those 15 affirmations and get on their phone, record it like a voice memo. And then you can listen to those anytime you want. Before you start your workday, it takes 2 or 3 minutes. Put it on while you're in the shower, while you're brushing your teeth. And so that way you don't have to read a piece of paper over and over again. You can just put in your headphones and listen to yourself doing those positive affirmations. And you're literally, people think of the term brainwashing as a bad thing, but if you think about it like washing your brain, that's a great thing. We wash our bodies, we wash our teeth, we wash everything, we wash the dishes, we wash our clothes. It's time to wash your brain and get rid of all those limiting beliefs, get rid of all those negative thought patterns, get rid of all those deconstructive mental cycles that are holding you back from like truly being successful.
Yeah. And there's definitely 2 things that come to mind. One, is if you're not programming your mind, then somebody else is programming your mind for you, right?
Oh
So,
yeah.
so going back to what you're just talking about, I mean, like definitely, I believe that that's critical. The affirmations and a lot of the information is going into your mind is so critical to that. The second thing is, and this, and I want to get some of your tips and how, because I'm sure people are going to be asking like, well, I sit here and I cannot meditate, or I sit here and nothing's going through, or there's thousands of thoughts going through my head. Like, how do I meditate? So I guess what are some tips to get people to like that state of mind of meditation, and what does that really mean when it comes down to that?
So there's a lot of myths and misconceptions surrounding meditation, what it is, what it isn't, how to do it right, what's doing it wrong, and things like that. And so the number one thing I try to stress to people is there's, even in the dictionary, there isn't a good definition for meditation, and scholars have agreed that you can't really define meditation. And the best definition they can come up with is that meditation is a set of skills and practices to work on focus and mindset. And that's basically it. And so throughout all the lineages, all the traditions, all the history, everything we have, modern and ancient, there's literally thousands of different meditation practices. And so people have the idea that meditation is clearing your mind and making all your thoughts turn off and being quiet. And that's just one style of meditation. That's Zazen meditation. It's very rigorous. It's very structured, very specific on how you do it. But that's just one out of the thousands of types of meditation. And so when people say they can't meditate, I say, well, you just haven't found the right meditation. You just didn't find one that you like, that you resonated with. And when it comes down to it, the main thing to focus on is that all you're trying to do is master where your attention is going and your ability to focus. And so meditation allows us to take the reins on our minds, and instead of our attention going 1,000 different places, like right now, a car just drove by, there's music, there's someone talking in the background, there's birds, there's all this stuff to look at, but all of my attention is right here with you right now. I'm not thinking about the ebook I was just writing that I didn't finish. I'm not thinking about the email I didn't send out last night because I was too tired. I'm not thinking about what I'm going to have for lunch. I'm thinking about what meditation is. And then the focus aspect is being able to take your focus. And most people are just using a shotgun blast. They're just throwing their focus out there, and they're not getting the results they want out of the work that they're doing. Things are taking longer. They're getting distracted. And so with meditation, you can turn your focus into a highly targeted laser. So when you say, I am going to do this, like that is the only thing you're focused on, and you will get it done quickly and efficiently without distraction, without, stopping. And that's a skill that entrepreneurs need, because oftentimes entrepreneurs are people that are wearing 100 different hats. And you're the marketer, you're the accountant, you're the email person, you're the funnel builder, you're the brand, the face of the brand, you're creating all this stuff. And so your focus all day is being pulled in all different directions, and you just have to address things as they come at you. Someone sends you an email and says, hey, I need this now. You're like, oh shit, well, okay, I'm going to take a break from what I'm doing and do this. And then something else comes up and you forgot what you were doing 10 minutes ago, and then it gets lost. And so the number one tip I have for people who want to start meditating is to download the Insight Timer app. Definitely, if you're listening, pull out your phone, pause the podcast, write this down. Insight Timer app. You can get it on Android, you can get it on Apple products, and they have a website you can go to. And this app is the world's number one meditation app. It's used by millions of people all over the world every single day. When you turn the app on, it'll even show you who around the world is meditating and where they're meditating at. There's like a big map, and it has all these pinpoints on it. And at any given point, there might be like 100,000 people meditating in this moment with this app.
Wow.
And there's over 50,000 free meditations from everything you can think of. Meditations for better sleep, meditations for stress and anxiety, meditations for entrepreneurs and business people, meditations for kids and adolescents and teens, meditations for more energy, for more vitality, for like whatever you can think of, just type it in the search bar and they have it. And I even have a page on the app, a teacher page, so you can look me up, Teo.luz, and I have a list of meditations for people to work on. And that's the number one thing is do guided meditations. Don't think that you have to do this on your own. There's so many people and so many resources out there that are free to help you with your mindset, to help you with meditation. and it's just a click away. It's on your phone. So if someone says, I
awesome.
can't meditate, I'm saying you're not trying hard enough, because it's literally free on your phone. And all you have to do is sit there, put in your headphones, and someone else will do all the work for you. You just have to listen.
Yeah. No, yeah. You know, a couple of things that comes to mind with that is that, you know, a lot of times we as people tend to create excuses or create obstacles, right? You know, like, again, this here is like, it's great, right? Like, people think that, well, I don't know how to meditate. I don't have the tools. I don't have the resources. And like you mentioned, there's so many different things that we can do, people, resources, that is really at our, you know, at our your hands rich, exposed to us. And we got to be able to just not, you know, look at those excuses and more so take action on creating something and just going with that. Which
and I know, entrepreneurs are better than that, because you don't just sit there and say like, oh, I don't know how to do sales. I might as well just not sell anything today. Or like, oh, I don't know how to write email copy. I might as well not ever send an email out. Like, no, you figure it out. You learn, you go and find resources. And same thing with mindset, like just go find the resources.
Yeah. And that leads me to another question. You know, when it comes down to like resources or people, how critical is it to build that community or build, you know, a group of people that are more or less helping your own journey? And how do you go about choosing the people you surround yourself with?
Definitely. This is huge. So my 3 big words, the triple C, is connection, collaboration, and community. Like you cannot be a lone wolf in this game. If you are doing the lone wolf thing, I promise you it's going to be a long, hard road that you are going to potentially end up failing or giving up on one day. And then it'll be like, you'll play the victim, be like, woe is me, this is really, really hard. And it's like, okay, well, it doesn't have to be that way. Connect with people. And then once you have those connections, start collaborating. Make your job easy. Find out, you know, who's an expert at what and how can you work together. And this comes down to trading resources and services. You can, I don't want to, you know, make this broad statement, but you can get almost anything for free. People think like, I have to pay for this, I have to pay for that. I promise you, you know, someone. Think of it like an MMORPG. So it's like a video game, and you have certain resources that someone else doesn't have, and they have resources that you don't have that you need. So how can you go about trading what you have for what someone else has? So, you know, when I think, you know, I don't have a fancy camera, I'm not a photographer, but sometimes I need new headshots, I need new photos. So what do? I find all my photographer friends, and I hit them all up and I say, hey, what can I offer you to where we can make this valuable for both of us, so I can get 5 new headshots and you can get whatever you need from me. And all of a sudden I have 5 new photos that someone else might have paid $200, $300, $400 for. And I got them just by trading some of my time, some of my expertise, which for me is no sweat off my back. So you have to connect with other professionals in your field. You have to know what you're good at and what you're not good at. What are you willing to sacrifice your time to get done? And what is not worth your time to get done? And find the people who, for them, it's no sweat off their back. It's like, oh, you need me to take 5 photos? Click, 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 done. No big deal. And figure out how you can combine resources, collaborate together to make it mutually beneficial, and then build a community, build a network. There's so many people that I connect with who are invaluable to doing the things that I do. And none of these people are on my payroll. None of these people expect me to compensate them financially, because it's this mutual understanding of, okay, you help me, I help you, and we'll do this together. We'll build something great together. And so when you're selecting those people, I think the biggest thing is to get really clear on your message, become really, really authentic and extremely transparent on what you're doing. And the people that hear that message, the people that resonate with that message and want to support and connect with you, you won't even have to ask. Oftentimes, in my experience, it's been people come to me and say, how can I help you? Like, I love what you're doing so much. What can we do to work together? Like, what do I have that you need that I can provide for you? And sometimes it's as easy as a connection. Just say, hey, I know you're friends with this person. I need to talk to them. Can you hook us up in a Facebook message? Or, you know what? I know you know some angel investors. You don't have to pitch for me. Just give me their number and I'll make the pitch. Or, you know, I know that anything you can think of. It's all about making miracles happen. But if you're not clear with your message, if you're not clear on what you want, And if you don't have good goals and values, then you're going to get lost in the noise, and people aren't going to want to help you. But if your mission is important to you and it's serving others, I guarantee you there's someone out there who like wants to hop on board and do everything they can to support you.
Yeah. And what I love about you mentioned, and hopefully the people that are listening and watching cut onto this, is, what you said, what can I offer you? Right. And so a lot of times you have to come from that place where, as you're making those connections and you're collaborating, it's not just about taking, it's about what can I do for you, right? What can I offer you? And I love that. I think sometimes we miss that part, right? We're always so busy of, well, I need to make, this sales, or I need to do this. I need to figure out who can help me do that. And you forget about giving back or collaborating with that person by saying, well, let's exchange something here. So I really, really love that.
And the biggest thing in this too, this is a strategy people highly underestimate. So this is going out to all entrepreneurs listening right now. To be more successful, you have to help others be more successful. So for example, let's say, and this is a strategy I use all the time. Someone wants your services and they just can't afford it, but you can help them. They know you can help them, and you both believe in each other and your abilities to work together. And they say, you know what, it just really comes down to the money. I just can't afford what you're offering. And so a great strategy is, again, that trading of value. And so I'll say to someone, okay, well, what can you afford? And they might say, well, I can afford this much. And it's like, okay, we can do that. I can make that happen. But to make that happen, I need a favor from you in return. I'm going to give you a favor. I need a favor. I need you to, and let's say, depending on how much you mark off your price, like find a point, like you are not willing to go below X amount, meet them there or somewhere in between, and then say, okay, if I meet you here and if you promise that you can do the work, this is what I need from you. I need you to give me 5, 10, 15, whatever your number is, qualified leads for this product and service. Just like this is valuable to you, I know that you know other people in your network, in your community, your friends, family, coworkers, colleagues, people you're connected to on social media that would also find this service or product valuable. So what I need you to do is make a list of the however many people, the 5, 10, 15, 20, and I need you to connect us directly. Start a text conversation with all three of us in it, Facebook message, but we don't want cold leads. Because if someone just hands me 10 names and numbers and I call random people and they're like, how the hell did you get my phone number? Right. Oh, my friend Gabby gave it to me. And it's like, really? No, that's not how this works. You want qualified leads. So when you call them, they say, oh yeah, Gabby told me you were calling. I'm so excited. Like, let's talk. Or they connect you in a Facebook message and Gabby says, hey, this is my friend Teo. I just signed up for his program or his course, or I just got his product and it's helped me out so much. I think you're going to really love this. I want you to know this person. And so that way you have that know, like, and trust aspect already handled, already taken care of, and you have a hot qualified lead. So a lot of people, they say, don't undersell yourself. Don't sacrifice on your price. Like only, charge $3,000 and nothing less. It's like, okay, well, if I cut my price in half and I charge this person $1,500 for the service and they give me 10 leads and I have a high conversion ratio, I know I can convert. If I get on the phone with someone, like I will convert them into a sale. I am a killer on the sales floor. And so if my conversion ratio is over 50%, you give me 10 leads, I convert 5 of those into sales. 3,000 times 5, that's $15,000. And all I had to do was give someone 50% off and ask for 10 names and numbers. So that's again, going back to like, what can we trade? How can this be mutually beneficial? I offer you this, you offer me that. It's all about doing favors.
Yeah, no, I love that. And definitely for those that are new to the entrepreneurial world and you're trying to figure out how to get more sales. I love that. I mean, again, I heard it in a different aspect, except I also like this, and it's like, okay, well, I'll give this price to you. Just give me a good testimonial that I can use that, or whatever the case may be. I also like this because, again, you're getting those leads that are not necessarily cold leads, and it's going to help you in your business. So it's definitely a good way to get more prospects into your space, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's like an old school door-to-door sales technique. And it goes a step further, the last piece. So even all of those leads that you talk to, let's say, you talk to someone like, yeah, I really want to do this. I just don't have time, or whatever excuse you can't overcome. Do the same thing and say, hey, I know you can't sign up for my program. I have this great resource. Maybe you have like a freebie or a $49 course or some product that you sell. Say, hey, I'd love to just get you started with this. I'll give it to you for free if you can give me 5 names and numbers. And you work it like that. So all of a sudden, the 1 lead turned into 5 leads, and each of those.
Yeah.
And so then that's how organic marketing strategies work. You can get 50 leads without ever using a paid ad just from one person and who they're connected to. Yeah. And honestly, you never know who someone's connected to. And you could be 1 phone call away from talking to a millionaire. And it's happened to me before. I've gotten into people's houses doing door-to-door sales where I'm looking around and I'm like, holy shit, these people, like there's Audis and Porsches in the driveway. And if you get that connection and you get leads from that person, all of a sudden you've broken into a whole new marketplace that you would have never had access to before.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. And sometimes it just takes that one connection to really change the direction of your business too. Right. So, that's definitely something. So let me ask you this: what are some, if you were to go back in your journey up until this point, what are 3 major lessons that you've learned? I don't see things as failures, or mostly either lessons or an educational experience, right?
The top 3 are pretty easy. I would say number 1, ask for help. That's something it took me a long time to be able to do comfortably. Now if I can't reach the pen across the table, I'm gonna ask someone, hey, can you hand me that? Before I was the type of person like do everything myself. I don't need any help. I got this. Yeah. But I mean, it's just proven you have to ask for help, especially with things you're not good at. Find someone who is good at it and get them on your team. The next thing I would say is delegation. So not only ask for help, but get if there's other people that can do the work for you that are happy to do it, let them do it. People love being part of a team. People, especially if you're the leader of a team, people love it when you allow them to do something that normally is only reserved for you, because it makes them feel more special. It makes them feel like, wow, this is like his big thing, and he's letting me take control of it. And what goes along with delegation is get rid of your perfectionism. And this is still a thing that I struggle with today, is letting go of it being perfect. It's better that it's done. Done is better than perfect, because at the end of the day, and this is something I was on the phone with someone with yesterday, and it just like drove me crazy. I was like, so did you finish your marketing campaign for your workshop? And the person said, no, I spent 10 minutes trying to pick a background image, and then I had to like go do something else. I was like, what the what? A background image that you're only going to market this for 2 weeks and no one's ever going to see it again, and people aren't buying your program for the background image. And it's little things like that destroy business owners and entrepreneurs. Of just get it done, and don't worry about these pieces of material that people are going to see and delete. An email, they're going to look at it, read it once, they're going to buy or not, they're going to delete it. So definitely ask for help, delegate, don't worry about perfect, worry about getting it done. And number 3 is learning, continual, constant learning. I didn't take that seriously enough early on in my entrepreneurial career, and I encountered a lot of obstacles that set me back. I made a lot of mistakes that set me back. And even to this day, I'm constantly learning new stuff, because the world that we're in today is constantly evolving at a super high speed. And so if you're reading someone's, Facebook organic growth strategies from 2016, that shit doesn't apply anymore. That's not what's working anymore. And if you're relying on old information, or what you learned 5 years ago about how all this stuff works, chances are you're going to get left in the dust. So anytime someone's doing some new course on the new Facebook, Instagram algorithm, or on the new ad strategy or the whatever, if it's free, I definitely grab it every single time. And I look at the people's ads that are working, people who are getting thousands of clicks on their content, their material, and I immediately sign up for their email newsletter, because I want to see, okay, what email sequence are they using? How are they doing this? I want to reverse engineer this. And anytime someone offers an incredible deal for their course, like the Billie Jean marketing course, for his birthday last year. I'm on his email list, and I don't read 99% of his emails. I just throw straight away, but I'm waiting for those golden emails. And on his birthday last year, if you were on his email list, he sent out an email saying, "It's my birthday. I just want to give everyone a gift." My entire catalog, my entire library, that's normally worth $4,000, $5,000, today only for 24 hours is $50.
Wow.
I got the entire Billie Jean marketing kit for $50. And that has happened multiple times where I've gotten these programs for like, a $6,000 course for a couple $100 because I was just on their email list and I was just waiting for them to send that stupid, crazy offer. So learn, and pay for good information. Pay for it. It's valuable.
Yeah. And going back to the perfection and Jim Rohn talks about don't spend major time on minor things. And sometimes we as entrepreneurs, we do that. I remember when I started this podcast, as a matter of fact, it was like, what am I going to call this podcast? Like I was like worried about the little things here and I couldn't get started because again, I was spending so much time on a stupid name that I'm like, you know what? Let me just call it like my book and let's get it over with and start recording, start doing the interviews. And again, I'm like, I can always go back and change it if I need to, right?
Yeah.
Yet I was spending a lot of time, major time on minor things, right? So I see that being a huge, for sure, at least in my life, it's been a huge obstacle that you got to be able to realize that, don't be, perfection. If you're looking and working for that perfection, you're missing out on a lot of opportunities, right? I mean, obviously you want to get as close as you can. You don't get too hung up on that because that happened to me multiple times, from that perspective. Talking about learning, I see it as two different things, right? There's the traditional education and there's what I consider to be the non-traditional education. What do you think are some ways that we can learn new material? Because some people think, well, I went to get my master's or my bachelor's or I went to school is not for me. And then that's it. They kind of close that door or the ability to continue to learn. And I love that fact that you mentioned that you do need to continue to learn all the time. And I'm also a firm believer that, until the day you die, you're going to continue to learn. And the minute you stop learning, you're going to start dying too, So how do you see that, in terms of non-traditional education, or how do you learn?
So the biggest thing is, the common phrase nowadays is like YouTube University. And YouTube is a great resource, but don't make that your only resource. I would also say Facebook groups are vital. I've learned so much in Facebook groups. And find out where the experts in your field are living, where they're congregating, what they're doing. Asking So the big quote I have on my wall, I have a bunch of quotes on my wall and behind my computer so I can like stay focused on what's important. And one of them is learning is earning. If you are learning, you are earning. And you're either learning about what it is you do and becoming more of an expert so you can charge more, or you're learning skills that you need to develop to be able to do all the business stuff better. So get in the Facebook groups. Like for example, I use Kartra for a lot of what I do, and I'm in the Kartra official group, and there's people asking questions and solving problems all day long. Like you ask a question like, this isn't working, or how do I do this? And I guarantee you 50 people are going to jump on there and be like, this is the solution. And you're like, great. I just learned something new and it took me 10 minutes. Another thing that is, I'm really, really a big fan of are mastermind groups. And there's one, I consider it like one of the most important calls of my week. And I do it every other week with my friend, Katie J. You can look her up on Instagram at @womanifester. She's a women's empowerment coach, a women's manifestation coach, and she runs women's circles. She does manifestation boot camps, courses, programs, the whole 9 yards. And we hop on a call every other week to just talk shop. And so she's kind of in the same niche as me. We're both in, health and wellness. We're both dealing with like mindfulness, meditation, things like that, helping people upgrade their lives. And we're both doing, courses, programs, coaching, whatnot. And so we hop on the phone and we talk about what's working, what's not working. Hey, I, tried this new email sequence and I got a lot of feedback on it. I'll send it to you. Or, hey, I signed up for this online course about how to do video marketing. It was really helpful. Here's my login information. Go check it out. Or I want to run a retreat. Have you run retreats before? What are the things that, you encountered that were challenging, or like what made it easier for you? And so I would recommend find 1, 2, 3 people that are in your same sort of general niche. And they don't even have to be like, she lives in California, I live in Arkansas. We're halfway across the country from each other, but we still make it work. So find people who are doing something similar to what you're doing, who are successful either, at your level or above, and connect and collaborate and share ideas, share information, share skills. She'll share something with me that I've never heard of, and I'll tell her what I'm doing, just telling her like, oh yeah, I schedule all my stuff with Calendly. And she's like, Calendly, I've never heard of that. What is that?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's this great scheduling app. Like, you should get it. And all of a sudden she has this new tool, this new skill, this new resource that she didn't know about beforehand. So find people that you enjoy spending time with and learn with those people. Make it fun, make it a challenge. And one thing we do is this accountability check, where at the end of each phone call, I come up with a question I want her to ask me the next time we talk, and she comes up with a question that she wants me to ask her. And so it's usually something that helps move the needle, where she's, okay, I have to get this campaign done. So the next time we talk, ask me about how I launched my campaign. So she knows that when we talk next, she better have launched that campaign, because I'm going to ask her about it. And she doesn't want to show up to the phone call being like, oh, I didn't do it. So find accountability partners that are going to hold you to it and make sure that you're still learning, make sure that you're still growing every week.
I love that. And definitely that gives you a sense of bigger accountability by asking those questions. So let's talk about really quickly about your business and how you help clients, and just give us an idea of what is it that you do in your space and how you're helping your clients.
Awesome. Yeah, totally. So I, formerly was a full-time yoga teacher, and that means teaching yoga classes in a studio, doing workshops online and in person, doing retreats and trainings and things like that. And I recently stepped back, I guess it was last year, maybe 6+ months ago, stepped out of the studio environment and away from teaching classes. And I focus on training. So for the past 4 or 5 years, I've been training yoga teachers. And that's my main business, I guess you could say. And I train people that want to be yoga teachers. We go through this whole, depending on how we do it, either a 3 to 6 month process, or we can do an intensive program that lasts a month. And by the end of it, they become yoga teachers. And so I take that a step further, because being an entrepreneur, I have a lot of skills that are highly coveted by, anyone who's doing any type of business. And yogis in particular are not business oriented. They are yoga oriented. They are self-help oriented. They are, feel good. Let's talk about our feelings and just like make the world a better place. Let's be of service and all this stuff. So after I've trained yoga teachers, I take them through a business program, and anyone's welcome to join. I can work with anyone around the world, any yoga teacher. And I basically give them a boot camp, an 8-week boot camp, on everything they need to know to operate successfully in the yoga world, to set themselves apart from the crowd, from all the noise, to highlight themselves and position themselves as expert authorities, as leaders in the yoga world, so that they can step out of, because in the yoga world, there's this myth that, you can't be successful, you can't make money. And all these yoga teachers are teaching 20+ classes a week, which is like very taxing, very draining on your energy. It's like, doing 2 or 3 workouts a day, and they're getting paid very little for it. Like, out of all the health and wellness professions, I think yoga teachers are probably the most poorly paid. And all yoga teachers accept that. They just accept, okay, I'm going to be a yoga teacher. I'm not going to get paid well. I'm going to work my ass off. And that's just how it works. And so I help coach teachers to becoming consultants, to becoming expert authorities, to becoming coaches, trainers, so that they can step out of just being a studio teacher and more into the space of helping others in a one-on-one setting, or helping others dive deeper into their practice, making courses, programs, running retreats, and hosting their own trainings and things like that. And that's my main focus right now. And you can find information about that on my website. Just type in teo.luz.com. And there's an academy button, or you can type in teo.luz.com/the-academy, and you'll find it. And that'll give you links to my yoga teacher training programs, my business boot camp program for yoga teachers. And I also help yoga teachers start their own membership channels online. So a lot of teachers are trying to transition online right now. and my new company, we build out membership channels so that you can have your very own private membership where people pay you monthly to get access to your exclusive content. So those are the three categories I'm in right now: the yoga teacher training, the individual business coaching, and then the membership channels.
Awesome. Got it. Yeah. And I have a couple more questions before I let you go. So besides the people finding information on your website, how else can people connect with you if they wanted to work with you?
Oh man, this is an easy one. So my name is pretty unique because I picked it myself. And so if you just type in Teo.luz on Google, you will find everything there is about me. You will find my Spotify. You will find my Insight Timer page. You'll find my Medium blog articles. You'll find my social media, my Instagram, my Facebook, my TikTok, everything. And I think it's all the same name. It's, if you type in on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, any social media, iam.teo.luz, you will find me.
All right. Awesome. And in terms of one thing that I can see, and watching you and seeing a lot of videos, there's a lot of positivity going on, and obviously you're a yoga instructor, so, and you do a lot of that meditation. Besides that, are there any specific things you do on a day-to-day basis to put you in this positive state of mind? And what is that?
Totally. I thrive on sunlight and being in nature. So every day, even if it's just to take a 15-minute break from the computer, I'll go outside and take a lap around the block. I'll go walk outside. I'll just come sit here in the backyard and listen to the birds, lay down for a minute. So nature is critical for me. And then really connecting with other people on a regular basis. So having those heart-to-heart conversations with friends, reaching out to loved ones on a weekly basis, and doing Skypes or Zoom calls or FaceTime sessions is really important to me. And then self-care in whatever form that takes. Some days it's just sitting in the bath for an hour. Some days it's just watching a movie with my dad. Right now we're trying to go through the whole Avengers Chronicles in sequential order. There's like a specific order you're supposed to watch them all in.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh yeah. And it makes way more sense when you do that. So we're doing that right now. And then sometimes it's journaling. Sometimes it's just like going out and, not working for a few hours and saying, you know what, it's a beautiful day. And this is the beautiful thing about being an entrepreneur, working for yourself, is that I can do that. I can take a self-care day and say, you know what, it is so freaking beautiful out today. I'm just going to clear my schedule for 3 hours and like go ride my bike or go to the gym or go hang out with friends. But the downside of that people do not see is if I do that, that also means that when I get back to work, I put in a full 8 to 10, sometimes 12 every single day, weekends included. So if I take 3 hours off in the afternoon, everyone's like, oh, you're so lucky. You get to take time off whenever you want. And it's like, yeah, but that means I'm going to go home, and from 8 to midnight, I'm going to be on my computer working while you're like playing video games or hanging out or doing whatever it is you do. So it's that give and take. It's that balance. That's what I love about it is I can check out and take care of myself when I need to.
Yeah, no, that definitely. And then my last question for you is, if you've given us definitely a lot of great tips, by the way. If you were to give me one last tip, and let's just say the people that are listening, they might be going through some sort of challenge right now, whatever that challenge might be, what is one thing that they can start doing to overcome that challenge?
I think the big thing I always try to stress to people, because it's been really prevalent in my life, is to be like absolutely ruthless and fearless in your pursuit of your passions and dreams, because every step along the way, I guarantee you, I 100% promise you, there will be people that don't believe in you. There will be people putting you down. There will be people telling you you're crazy. You can't do it. You're not good enough. You will probably tell that to yourself at some point. And if it's something that you truly believe in, if it's something that you truly are passionate about, that you truly love, that you think serves yourself or serves the world or your community, if you think that it's going to make a difference in someone's life, even if it's just one person, like, do not give up. And I've done that to, there are certain points I had to ask my parents and my closest friends along my entrepreneurial journey of, I had to like sit back and seriously ask them, like, am I crazy? Like, I cannot tell if what I'm doing makes sense anymore, because I just don't know. I need perspective. And some people from the outside will be like, yeah, I mean, you are working a lot, like you are doing this and that, but it's like, if it makes you happy and you believe in it, like you can't give up.
Right.
Because I guarantee you the day you give up is the day you sell yourself to the system, to whatever it is. And I rather look back on my life and be broke and, you know, I don't even know, just whatever horrible situation you can imagine having, you know, if I never made it or if I was never successful, if it never worked out, I rather be in that position and look back on my life and say, you know what, at least I tried. At least I spent every single day of my life doing something that I care about, doing something that I believe in, doing something that makes me happy, even if I didn't make the 2 comma club, even if I never had a 6 or 7 figure month, even if it didn't work out the way I thought it would. I did what I wanted to do every day of the week, my entire life. And to me, that's freedom right there.
Yeah. I love that. And it kind of goes back to what is success to you, right? You know, how does success feel and look for you? And you know, for different people, it's different things. People measure that through monetary aspect, and I tend to believe that is more like your happiness, how you feel, and how, you know, that makes you feel. So whether that means you have $1 million or you have $1 to your name, it doesn't matter. If you're happy, to me, that's success, right? So yeah, definitely. Teo, anything else that you want to share with our listeners and viewers before I let you go?
Just remember that if you have a dream, you can overcome anything. You could be the very next, you know, mythic character in the entrepreneurial world that is just like everyone looks up to you and says, wow, they did it. We thought it would never happen, but they did it. Think about all the people in the business world today, all the sob stories, all the, you know, I came to this country with a nickel and now I have millions of dollars in multiple companies. That could be you, but you'll never know if you don't try.
Yeah, exactly. And as you said earlier, don't give up, just keep pushing, keep moving forward. So I love that. So Teo, thank you so much for being here and taking the time to speak to us and sharing your knowledge with us. Really appreciate that.
Thank you for having me. This has been a great conversation. I loved it.
Awesome. And for the rest of you guys, please do me a favor. Make sure you check us out on every platform that you listen to your favorite podcast. Please make sure you comment, subscribe, and like this video. And we want to hear from you and your comments. So until next time, I'll see you at the next episode of You Can Overcome Anything podcast show. Have a good time. Bye.
Hi, I'm Cesar Espino, real estate investor, business coach, and consultant, and author of the book, You Can Overcome Anything, Even When the World Says No. My number is 424-501-6046. In my book, I talk about making the necessary changes to shift your mind for prosperity and certainty. Pick up your copy at Amazon. I also love helping families with their real estate and can purchase your house fast and all cash. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. My number is 424-501-6046.
Thank you for having me today. I am so glad you tuned in to this podcast. You can find me at Spreaker.com, where you can like and subscribe. And to learn more about myself and my services, you can find me at www.cesarrespino.com, or you can also find me at Facebook under Cesar R. Espino. Once again, thanks for joining me. I am looking forward to having you at the next episode, and know that you truly can overcome anything.